Hey, it's Ryan Stewman, President and CEO of Closer Capital, where we help entrepreneurs like you get access to the capital they need to scale their business. Today, I want to talk to you about the future and what's going on in our economy and what you can. I want to set a reasonable expectation for you, but I want you to understand this premise before we get going to this. In the blink of an eye, the snap of a finger, things can change. So what I'm about to say right now, there could be an economical black swan disaster, whatever the case may be, that may turn this around. So don't bet your life savings on this. Don't put your life on pause for what I'm about to say, and don't alter anything. Just keep this little nugget of information that I'm going to give you in the back of your mind here, okay? So, since the year 2004, I have been a voracious reader of everything the Fed puts out. And what I mean by that is the Federal Reserve, the people that are in charge of our money. One of the very first books I ever read that was a biography in my life was Alan Greenspan's biography. At the time, that's how old I am, at the time that I got into the finance world, Alan Greenspan was chairman of the Fed, okay? And so I have watched Alan Greenspan, Ben Bernanke, Janet Yellen, and now Jerome Powell all become the heads of the Fed. Most people couldn't name the last four Fed chairmen because they don't care about that. Me, I'm obsessed with it. I don't know why, but I'm obsessed with it. Because the way that these guys that control all of the money in not just our country, but the world, because the US dollar is the world's currency, the fact that these are private individuals in a private company that control the entire global banking system has always just been like, those guys don't need money. They are money. Like, think about that. Like, those guys they have it. They are it. It's their job to make it. It's the craziest thing. So I've always been obsessed with it. You should too. But this year, this is the second time in my lifetime that I have seen a president respectfully collide with the Fed chairman, right? We saw this happen with Obama and Bernanke, and now we are seeing this happen with Trump and Jerome Powell. When Trump took office in January, he told Jerome Powell the thing we need to do to get this economy booming is lower the interest rate to where we can get inflation under control and we can get the economy booming, people can borrow money again. Jerome Powell, being a private individual with the only thing they got to do is they don't even have to really obey American laws, right? Like, the president has zero authority over Jerome Powell. He can do anything he wants. Matter of fact, probably he has more power than the president in all reality because he is money. He is the controller of money, right? President Trump controls land and people. Jerome Powell controls the money in this country. So President Trump tells him what to do. Ego Jerome Powell doesn't like being told what to do, so they hold steady on the last two federal meetings to cut the rates. They've left them the same. Now I want you to understand what that means to you and I, okay? Jerome Powell, rich, he is money, right? Whether it says his net worth's $50 million, which is more than enough to live a very comfortable life, the reality of it is he will never pay for anything the rest of his life. Every trip, security, home, it's all paid for by the Fed, which is basically you and I's tax dollars, and basically our efforts funded his life, okay? So now, I tell you this because it makes no difference in his life. He's not a for-profit company. He's not going to miss money. It makes no difference in his or anybody that works for the Federal Reserve's at a high level's life if they lower the interest rate. It doesn't hurt their money. It doesn't mean they can't print more money. It actually probably makes them more money to lower the interest rate because more people can actually borrow and they're playing a volume game. I don't know. But what I am saying is that although it doesn't affect him, his private company that has zero competitors or anything, they refuse to do that. It pissed off President Trump. So now President Trump and his very brilliant team that is behind him have done things like purchase treasuries. And by the way, the crazy thing is, I just read the other day, Warren Buffett owns more treasury bonds than the actual federal government. So, and maybe more than the Federal Reserve. I might have read that wrong. If he owns more than the federal government, it's one thing, but owning more than the Federal Reserve may have been what I actually read. It's just crazy, right? And so I say that because they start buying these bonds, that lowers the interest rates on mortgages, allows people to, so they've got other economic shape-shifting activities that they can do to enhance this economy. And so Jerome Powell knows that his cards are up. And so now the word on the street is that the next 2 times, because the Feds meet 4 times a year, the next 2 times that they meet, they are going to lower interest rates by 1/4 to 0.5%. So this means the federal overnight market rate is going to go maybe 0.5 to 1% lower. What does that mean for you? It has nothing to do with real estate prices. It has nothing to do with mortgage rates. It has to do with the cost of money for banks to borrow it from the Fed for an overnight period of time, right? And there's a mathematical calculation on top of that that gives us prime. And then there's the banking profit numbers on that give us prime plus 1, prime plus 4, whatever those numbers are, depending on what the banks are serving at the time and how the Federal Reserve is leading them. What does that mean for you? That means that right now, if we are not guaranteed, because nothing's guaranteed, but we are very what they call hawkish on the outlook of cutting rates from the Federal Reserve, that means that there is a good chance that if you borrow money right now, that money could be cheaper. So let's say that right now you borrow 100 grand, your payments are $5,000 a month. It's a short-term loan. Your payments are $5,000 a month. 3 months into it, we get a rate reduction. Private money lowers their rate. Things get a little bit more friendlier. The banks lower the rates. There's a lot of things that can happen. All of a sudden, you can refinance that debt, get longer terms, shorter, a lower interest rate and longer term, so now you've got smaller payments. Okay, so if you can handle debt right now, most likely you'll be able to refinance maybe 2 times before the end of the year. But if you can carry a debt load now, there's a high probability that it's going to get cheaper. That's what I'm getting at. There's a high probability that once the Fed starts, see what happens is the Fed sends signals. Once they cut rates, other lenders, other banks, other institutions, finance, insurance, a lot of them fall in stride, especially today with information being as free as it is. If we know somebody like Cal Maine is ripping us off on eggs, everybody calls them out and boycotts them on social media and so on and so forth. It's the same with the banking system. So what does that mean for you? If you're an entrepreneur right now and you're looking for funding, you're looking for capital, and you think, man, you know, I think the rates are going to go down, blah, blah, blah. That's great, but now's the time to get the capital. If you can hold it now at the higher interest rate, you can always refinance it in the future because the future's uncertain. If you wait till rates drop before you come in and get capital, it might be too long. And when rate drops, everybody's going to make that move as well. So then you're not going to be ahead of the competition. You're going to be in the thick of the competition. Getting ahead, getting capitalized right now, and potentially refinancing in the future is the play to get ahead of the people that didn't watch this video that are late bloomers to the game. So if you need capital funding, you need money, working capital, SBA, commercial, hard money for real estate, all things business lending. We don't loan to individuals. We only loan to LLCs and corporations. Go to closercap.com, apply. Somebody on my team will reach out to you, get your docs together, put a presentation, and we'll put you in the best financial position that we possibly can to get you ahead of these looming rate cuts. Catch you on the next video.